Funky classic rock.
This drummer has been around and has worked with some of the most iconic musicians of our time. He's been in bands that are equally iconic, Bad English, and... Sorry, was that an airplane or something?
No, that was actually my car, my wife's car starting, so I'm going into the house now. I wish I had an airplane. Dang it. Sweetie, I'm sorry about that.
No,
I was right.
All good. It's all good. He's been in bands that are equally iconic, Bad English, and he's the drummer with the longest tenure in Journey. And of course, he has his own bands, Revolution Saints and the Dead Daisies. This is one guy who it seems like has never hit the stop button. Dean Dino Castronovo. I finally get to speak to one of the most...
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. You're so energetic, Dean.
I know, it's scary. I think I drive my people crazy. The funny thing is it's like I'm all hyper and nuts. I've always been like this, but I'm worse now that I'm sober. And they look at me like, hey, can't you calm down? And I look at them and go, you guys wanted me clean. This is your fault.
But what keeps you...
I got a ton of energy. I know it is what it is.
So that's right.
Got to work with it.
That's right. Now, what keeps you so motivated, Dean?
Oh, just, you know what? A lot of it has to do with my family. You know, really, Kiki, I work my tail off and do what I love, and I get paid for it, which is amazing in itself. But, you know, I've got family, and that just keeps me going. I mean, I got 4 kids, 2 grandkids, and, 3 cats and 1 dog, and yeah. I'm nonstop, my friend, nonstop.
Well, you got to be with all those people in your family.
Yes, ma'am. Tons.
Yeah.
It's an Italian family. That's you got to look at it that way.
You know what? Now I get it. Now I get it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
I'm Italian too, so it all works.
Oh, there you go. See, I can tell you just got that voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My mother used to yell all the time, and my husband, before he was my husband, said, "Why does she yell all the time?" I said, "She's just talking. There's no yelling. It's just speaking."
You know what? That's true. My papa was the same way.
See?
That's just how they talk.
That's
They're both
right.
Sicilian. You can't help it.
Nope.
It's what it is.
Right. Just like you said, it is what it is. Now, it was totally awesome to see you guys going to rehearse. You just got back from LA not too long ago. How did it feel to be back in the studio again?
Oh, I'll tell you, sweetie, this is what I've been missing for a year and a half because, Daisy took a year off looking for a new singer because John had passed or had left. And so we were like, okay, what are we going to do? Okay, we found the singer.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's go do the record. So we got together to do the record, but we really never played together, like full-on played songs together. So once this week came along, it was like, oh, my God, finally we get to play. And it was like we had never, put it this way, we had never played together, but it didn't sound like it. I mean, the first couple of songs, like, dang. I mean, it sounds tight.
It's crazy.
It sounds really tight and really good. And Glenn and I, man, we lock like a freight train. It's unreal. It's just the rhythm section in the Daisies now is like a freight train, a freaking freight train.
Spot on, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you guys are scheduled to head to Germany in February to do a ton of shows overseas, which is great because this is going to be your first tour together, right?
Yes,
now, are you feeling...
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, are you feeling confident that these shows will happen?
That, again, it's up in the air. We've got them booked. We're ready to go, and we will be ready. But, again, COVID, it's one of those things where we have to sit and wait, a wait-and-see thing.
Yeah.
They're booked, and we're ready. And if Europe opens up again, we will be there. But, it's hard to say. You know that as well as I do. It's like you can't even predict it. It's up and down and up and down. And I heard that Europe's locking down again.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, we'll have to see. It's really a wait-and-see situation.
Oh, I just sigh. We're all ready for live music again, and especially to see you guys. And hopefully, now I see that you just have shows booked overseas. Are there plans to do U.S. shows after that, whenever it happens?
Yes. Well, actually, what may happen is we may, if Europe is locked down, we may hit the States first.
Okay.
So if the States open up, again, we don't know. So that's kind of where we're at now. Now that Europe's kind of locked down, we're kind of looking at, well, maybe we should hit the U.S. first. But then again, we got to wait and see if venues are going to open, if they will take us, and so we just got to sit and wait, which sucks.
Nah.
Yeah. And what hurts me the most too is you see all these musicians out there and crew guys
Yeah.
that are selling their cars and their guitars and gear just to survive. It's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking to see.
It is. So we're really keeping our fingers crossed that everyone gets to work again really soon. Now, you're a family guy. You're a husband. I'm sorry?
I said like yesterday. Let's get to work like yesterday.
Yeah,
Let's go.
no kidding.
We're dying.
Yeah. Now, you're a family guy. You're a husband, a dad, a grandfather. You're so tight with your family. Now, when the shows and the touring do kick back in again, how hard is that going to be for you, Dean, to leave them?
Well, it's funny. When I do come home, I never bring my work home with me. And I've always made that choice that, look, when I get home, I don't play drums. I don't sing unless, somebody calls me to do a record or something. But I don't get on the drum set and practice or do any of that stuff. I stick with family.
Wow.
And that's kind of been my thing my whole career. It's like, okay, when I'm done, I'm done.
Good for you.
I don't touch them. It's like, you don't want to, after a tour like the Daisies, because we bust our humps.
Right.
A tour like the Daisies do, it's like, you don't even want to look at a drum set. You don't want to even see a pair of sticks. It's like, yeah, I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
But, once we get after a year and a half, man, we've been going crazy. So it was like, oh, God, so refreshing to get behind the drum kit and play again. It's just nice.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Now, we got to talk about the lockdown sessions, the Dead Daisies EP Unspoken. Glenn is so amazing on vocals.
Yes, ma'am.
Righteous Days, 30 Days in the Hole, Fortunate Son, the Creedence cover with you on vocals. Again, your energy's crazy. It's off the chain. Love this version. But what made you guys decide to pick a Creedence song?
Well, with all that's going on right now, with COVID and some of the stuff militarily that's going on, with the U.S. and all the crud that's going on, it's just kind of poignant. It just kind of fit. Like, let's try this. And Glenn was like, well, Dino, you go for it. You sing it, which was really an honor, to have Glenn say, you know what, you can do this. You go kill this. And honestly, I knew the song, but I only knew the background parts, because I'm singing backgrounds when John was singing the song live. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really know all the lyrics. And so it was really cool. I had my glasses on and we had the cheat sheets on the floor. And after singing it and really reading what John was writing down, John Fogerty was like, man, this is a heavy protest song. It never really clicked.
Yeah.
I wasn't around when Vietnam was going on. I think it was 4 or 5. I mean, I didn't know anything that was going on. So it really hit home to read that and go, man, it's a protest tune, a serious protest tune. And I really was able to dig into it. I love John Fogerty. He's a genius, but it was so much fun to sing. And I love being able to do it.
It's awesome to always, it's always awesome to pick up new things to learn. And like you said, you dug into that song. So it just made it, probably gave it a different flavor at that point.
Well, I think, again, it's something that I grew up listening to as a kid.
Yeah.
But it never really clicked with me until I actually sang that song and read those lyrics. Like, man, it's heavy duty.
And it goes perfectly.
This isn't just about rock and roll and partying and chicks. This guy is pissed. You know what I mean? And it was really good. It was great to see that. It was really cool to sing it.
Such a great way to put it, Dean. You just have your own spin on everything. I love it.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. No, it's the drummer thing in me. My brain's never right anyway.
Now, Bustle and Flow, the newest song from the Dead Daisies, and on your upcoming album, Holy Ground, which is due out on January 22nd, the video is so cool. I'm watching it and I'm thinking, I feel like I'm in a video game, but that was the point of the whole thing. So what made you guys decide to go with an animated video instead of a people video?
Well, that was, I think, David Edwards, our manager's call. I mean, he's really the, even though we're the musicians and we're the creative side of that part of it, he's very creative in other areas, especially with the social media and some of the visual stuff that we do. He's very in tune, and he lives and breathes this band, our manager does. So, he got the ideas of, well, let's try this and we'll put this in, and it came out great. I was really impressed. I'm like, hey, Dave, you should be doing this. Do the manager thing. Don't do creative stuff like this.
It's really cool.
Awesome. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, totally nice to see something different, and that's exactly what you guys delivered, and we love it. Now, you've been...
Well, that's what we try to do, hon, is we try to, we're not doing the same things that everybody else does. That's what I love about this band. We're trying to reach and try different things, check out new things and stuff. But we're not afraid to step out of the box per se.
No,
and not do the standard rock and roll video,
Right, and you're not afraid to step out of the box. And I do notice your audience base is pretty broad, which is so cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's amazing. I mean, just the fans that we've had in the UK and Europe and stuff. In the States, we're still building it, of course. But over in Europe and the UK, my gosh, man, it's done really, really well. And they're loyal. They're extremely loyal fans. So we love that. And I love the fact that we're a band for the fans. We're not afraid to hang out with them and spend time with them and get to know them. I mean, a lot of these fans I actually know now, and they become friends of mine, which has been really cool.
It's so funny because everything you do, you always talk about how all of you love being with the fans. And I find that because the fans are really what drives your business, right?
Yes, ma'am. With Journey, as much as I love being in that band, you had to pay to meet them, and it was, it was very corporate, very, like Kiss and all these other bands. That's kind of what they do. And I've always been one of those kind of guys that, man, after the show, I go out and, I'll go to the freaking fans and visit and sign and hang. You know? You just want to see what they're all about. I mean, it's really a different experience with the Daisies because it's very fan driven. It really is. And that's kind of what drives us as well. They drive us and we just keep producing stuff. So it's pretty cool.
That is so, so cool. And you've been drumming forever. You've been in a band since you were 16, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Wild Dogs. Yeah.
Wild Dogs. And they did
a metal band out of Portland. Yeah. Very cool.
And they did great. And then you got recruited though in '87 to be in Bad English alongside Ricky Phillips, Jonathan Cain, Neil Schon, John Waite. I mean, that was a quick ride, only lasting a few years, but that had to be an awesome ride for you.
Oh, fun. I'll tell you, I remember when our song went number one, and at the same time, our record went gold. Okay, so I'm at this big dinner with all these people, and they announced that. We had no idea. The band had no clue. So the record label said, we just want to let you know that next week your song will be number one, and here's your first gold record. I remember on a payphone calling my mom and dad, and in tears, seriously, in tears, going, "I did it, Ma. I did it, Papa. Can you believe this? This is happening. I did. Oh my God, I'm holding my gold record, Ma. It was
wow,
unbelievable. Never forget it. And it was October 31st. Well, so it was. I'll remember the date. I remember where I was. It was unreal.
Where were you? So where were you when you found out?
We were at some. I think it was Spago in L.A. They had rented a big, conference like table room, or a private room for just the band and the people from the record label. And we were having dinner and talking, and then they announced that. And like I said, I ran to the first payphone I could find because they didn't have cells then, or they did, but they weren't like these, they weren't like the cool ones we got now. So I remember going to the payphone and calling my family. It was just unreal.
That is, you gave me chills when you just said that.
Oh, awesome, hon, awesome. I got chills too. It's like, oh my God. I've been very fortunate, hon. I don't take it for granted. I'm so, so fortunate to have had the career that I've had, and to still be doing what I love. It's storybook. It really is. Really is. It really is.
But you're so grateful, and we can tell that you are thankful for what you've done. I mean, you also went off and you worked with Ozzy on his 7th album, Osmosis. Like, how did you fit into Ozzy's world? Did you fit into Ozzy's world? And what happened when you left?
It was, I was working with Steve Vai, doing some recording with Steve Vai, and he got the call to do, to work with Ozzy. So he recruited me, and so I was in Ozzy's band then, and then Steve left because I guess it wasn't working out musically for he and Ozzy, I guess. I mean, that's kind of what we heard. But he kept me on and brought Zach in and Geezer Butler, and it just kind of spiraled out, and I did the record. I spent, almost 3 or 4 months in Paris doing the record. And
that must have been awful.
For one tour, and then I got canned.
Oh, you really?
That's normal for Ozzy's band, man.
Yeah.
Go in that band. It's just nonstop. So
I've kind of read that. But it kind of seems like, Dean, everything you had done up until that point really prepared you for what came next, which was Journey. 17 years, you were with the band, 5 albums, tons and tons of trips around the world. 1998, you joined really one of the most iconic bands of our time. And as you look back, what is the brightest moment of you being a part of Journey?
Oh my gosh. There's so many, my friend. I couldn't number them, or, I don't even think all of it, all 17 years, because we started with, maybe 500 people coming to the show because Steve Perry wasn't there. And it was very much like, well, we got to re-educate fans. That's what John King told me in a car one day. He's like, look, we got to re-educate these people and let them know we're still around and we can continue without Steve. And it was tough. The first year and a half was tough. 1,500-seat places with 500 people showing up, and we would win them over every night. And it grew and grew until so where they are today, playing stadiums. I mean, it's just snowballed. They've done so well, and I'm so honored and grateful to have been a part of that. I'll never forget it, and I owe Neil and John a huge debt of gratitude for giving me that opportunity.
Yeah.
I owe them for life.
Oh, gosh. Like, just to say you were part of Journey, it's crazy. But now when you came on board, Steve Augeri also was the new kid. Now, had you ever worked with him or Ross before?
No, never had. That was my first time ever with Ross, and that was incredible. I think I scared him. I think
No.
the first time I talked to him, I said, he did. He goes, man, you're playing. You were so aggressive and so, it's like you kind of threw me off. It scared him a little bit. You see, Smith was just he's an amazing player.
Yeah.
And, definitely two different styles. So he said it was just kind of like, oh my gosh, we got freaking animal back here smashing around like a crazy man. But it worked out good. And Steve, I'd never worked with Steve, but I knew him from Tall Stories.
Oh, okay.
When Neil brought him in, I'm like, oh, dude, you can't get anybody better than that. I mean, he sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So, it was very cool.
Now, in the first part of the year, I'm going to say it. I will come out and say it. When Journey had to revamp their lineup, because we know why they had to do that, I was on the bandwagon, Dean, to bring you back.
Yes, ma'am.
And you came up.
I would have loved it too, and I kind of got the call, but kind of didn't.
I was going to ask you that. Did you get a call? Did you?
Well, it was like a text. He said, "What are you doing, man?" And I said, "Well, I'm working with Dead Daisies, and I got this little side project I'm doing with Jason Sheff and Jay DeMarcus from Rascal Flatts, and we're just doing a little country thing." And that's it. He goes, "Well, man, big changes are coming," and he just said, just get ready. I said, what did Smith do? Did he quit again? And Neil said, just wait. And then 2 days later, all that stuff came out, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, it just blew me away.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And it was funny because they were starting rehearsals around the same time the Dead Daisies were, to go out on the road. And I was like, well, God, man, I mean, if they do ask me, how am I going to do that to the Daisies? I can't do that to them. I can't just bail and leave, 4 weeks before they're supposed to go on the road. That would be really cold-blooded.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, it was almost like good that they didn't call, but it would have been cool if they had, said, yeah, Dino, we want you back. But it was one of those things. It didn't happen. And I love Narda. I don't know if you know much about Narda Michael Walden, the drummer. He's an amazing producer, amazing songwriter, as well as a drummer. So that's a huge, huge ace in the hole for them. That's going to really help them a ton. I know.
Oh, absolutely.
He produced all Mariah Carey's records. He's a bad boy, man. He's amazing.
You see, it's crazy. I did not know much about Narada at all. I had to go dig and I had to go find out about him. Like, holy mackerel. They got a powerhouse, But again, I think we all wanted to see you back.
I would have done it in a heartbeat. Are you kidding? I mean, had it all worked out, had it all been planned right, and God, are you kidding? I mean, that's where I feel the most at home.
Yeah.
I've been there for 17 years. It was hard to have to walk away from that.
Yeah.
But you know what? God bless. I love them to death. I still keep in contact with Neil. All the time we're texting and talking and stuff, and I love him to death. I wish him the best, man. And I told him if something happens, man, something does happen.
Right here.
You know who to call.
Well, but and obviously,
always here.
Obviously, Neil loves you because you did Journey Through Time with him. And
Yes, ma'am.
that came up as just really a one-off project, right? Neil did that as a benefit for the California fires and ended up turning into a 4-show event. But why didn't you guys do more?
Well, I think there was Journey had some shows booked in October and November, December, some corporate shows, little things. And we were going to go on the road. We were going to do 20 dates and, in specific cities and go out and do this, and it would have been great. But we got the call, and he was like, "Dude, they book shows for Journey, and we can't do it." So kind of just fell by the wayside, and I missed that band. That was so much fun.
People wanted it, Dean.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable, bro.
People wanted you guys to come out as Journey Through Time. I'm like, are they going to come here? It was.
I know.
Everybody was really chomping at the bit for shows.
Oh, we were too. I was like, God, let's go do this. This is going to be unreal. And as luck would have it, or fate, or God, or whatever, just kind of it didn't happen. And everything happens for a reason. So I
of course
roll with it like a leaf on a mighty river from that movie, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh my, I love that movie.
On a mighty river.
Now, my favorite line from that movie is, "Are those pillows? Those aren't pillows. Come on."
It's one of the greatest movies ever.
Right?
I love that one as well. That one and Uncle Buck.
Oh my God.
Movies ever.
John Candy. Gosh, loved him.
I know.
Loved him.
I know. He was great. He was such an amazing comedian. I loved him.
Now, what is one of the craziest shows you did while you were with Journey, whether it be fan-wise or crowd-wise, craziest shows ever?
I would have to say, for me, it was Sturgis. That was like, you had all the motorcycles all lined up at the gig. That's your fans. They're sitting on motorcycles.
Man.
And when they liked you, you would hear them woo, 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 and hand claps. It was revving up the motorcycles. It was awesome. That was probably the most interesting gig I ever did with Journey, by far.
That is so cool.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Now, before you left Journey, you, Jack Blades, and Doug Aldrich formed Revolution Saints. You released your third album, Rise, at the beginning of this year. Now, I totally get doing different things, working with different people, because you like to be diversified. But how can you wholeheartedly be a part of two bands without saying, am I giving less to this one or that one? How does that work?
It's, it is hard, but, you have to, you try to make it work out with both bands, to make sure, like, if somebody's not, like, if the Dead Daisies aren't working and I got a little bit of time off, I'll throw things in here and there that, as long as it doesn't interfere with the Dead Daisies. And that was kind of the problem we were having with Revolution Saints and the Daisies is, Revolution Saints has two guys from the Daisies.
Yeah.
The Daisies are our priority. So it was hard for us to get together to do that. And then you got Jack, who's busy with Night Ranger.
Right.
So trying to fit all those schedules together, it was really difficult. And this last record, we finally got the third one done. I thought, I don't know if we're going to be able to continue this. It's very difficult to juggle.
Yeah.
Band to band. So I think we're going to, take a little hiatus with Revolution Saints for a while and until there's some time. We actually got some time to sit down and do it correctly. You know? So it's difficult. I don't think for anybody, any musician that's got a side project to try and find time. I mean, I don't know how Corey Taylor from Slipknot does it with that, Stone Sour, and then his new band, Corey Taylor, his solo band. It's like, how in the heck does this guy pull this off?
That's what I'm saying.
Doing it. I love him for that. He's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just has to be really hard because you want to make sure you're good for everything.
Yeah. Yes.
But Dean,
and juggling. Yeah, you're juggling.
Yeah.
Schedules and trying to fit it in without making the other one go, hey, we were supposed to do this. Like,
right.
We got this time. It's like, it ain't easy. It's not easy.
Now, we do have a couple of fan questions for you before we go. And this one is from Ian McBride of Scotland. If you had the opportunity to put together a supergroup for a one-time show, who would be in your group, whether they're here or not?
Wow. Oh, my gosh. Corey Taylor singing. I love him.
Wow.
Eddie Van Halen, of course. God rest his soul. Man, that was a tough one.
Yep.
Paul Stanley, rhythm guitar, definitely.
Listen to you.
Butler on bass. I love Geese. I don't know who I get for keyboards. Probably John Kane. He's the best of the best for that. And for a drummer, I wouldn't pick me. I'd find somebody else.
Oh my gosh! Why wouldn't you? You got to pick you.
I'm just goofing. If I could find a drummer, though, I'd probably get Neil Peart, of course. Rest his soul as well.
Yeah.
Neil. He was a god, the professor. So that would be my band, yes.
Well, that's a pretty dang good band. I like it.
Yes.
Now, Karen of Team Dino, Karen, said that the fans would agree that the Revolution Saints song Freedom, written by you, is amazing. Will there be any more new music to come from you? And I know you got a bunch in your back pocket.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm so focused on the Daisies right now. There's really not much time to do anything else. I've got that other project I'm working with, like I was telling you about, with Jay from Rascal Flatts and Jason Sheff from Chicago, called The Rise Above. It's a country act, but it's awesome. But and we've done some recording and stuff as well. But that's kind of all I got right now. And with COVID going on, there's not a heck of a lot more you can do.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of sitting around waiting. So
now
we will see.
The other project you just talked about, the country project.
Yeah.
Are you guys practicing virtually? And that has to be hard.
Well, we haven't practiced virtually. I've flown down to Nashville a few times to record with them, and we did a benefit concert for like road crew people in the Nashville area that they're losing everything because they can't tour and stuff. So we did a live stream with Ron White, the comedian, for his #1 tequila. So it's the #1 tequila quarantine concert series.
Wow.
So that's kind of what we've been doing. And
that's cool.
That's kind of, we may be doing another benefit here in a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, with another benefit concert for the first responders.
Oh, wow.
For COVID-19, the nurses and doctors and stuff that risk their lives, so we're going to do something for them. I believe that's on the 28th, but that'll be quick. I fly in, I do it, and I fly out because I got to get back surgery. This will be my second one.
Oh, God. I've had 2 as well.
Kiki. Age is awesome.
Dean, I've had 2, so I get you.
Oh, this is my second one, and I have a hip replacement on the right side, full hip replacement, and I've got 4 pins in my back, 2 pins in my neck, and the full hip replacement. I'm kicking butt, and I'm still up and moving. And
you're still like around like a crazy man. Like you move around like there's none of that going on.
Yeah, I got it. That's the thing. I can't just sit there and play.
Yeah.
It's almost like dancing. It's like when I'm playing, it's like I'm dancing. That's kind of keeps my time, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, that totally explains it then. Like you're dancing. Now, the next time I see you, that's exactly what I'm going to think about.
Look at the boy dancing.
Look at him go. Now, Dean, again, you have had such an incredible career, truly blessed to have been a working musician for decades. So what do you consider the one piece of your puzzle that got you and is keeping you where you are today?
Oh, my gosh. I think it's just the love for music, just loving to create and be with, friends to create together. I think for me, it's like, the money's great and that's all fine and good, but just doing what I love. And, because I've loved this is all I know how to do too, Kiki. I mean, it's not like I can go and fix cars or something or, or be a salesman. It's just not, this is all I know. So I get to do what I love and I get paid for it, which is a great thing. But I think it is. It's just the love of music. It's that's what all musicians. I mean, when we're little, we want to get chicks and rock out and stuff. But when you do it for a living, it's like we do it because we love it. I mean, I love music, all genres. I don't care what it is. I'll listen and learn from anything. So for me, it is. It's really just the love of playing music. I love it.
It's so cool. You're in a position, you're able to give back to others. And we love that. And we love that, again, you love your fans. So thank you so much. We're going to be watching, waiting. We're hoping for live shows here in the U.S. soon. Definitely be keeping an eye on that. Fingers crossed that our friends overseas do get to see you, though, and all of our best to you, the Daisies, and your family. Dean, you rock.
Well, I got to say, Kiki, I got to thank you and other journalists that are doing interviews like this and keeping the Dead Daisies name alive. And I'm being honest, if it wasn't for you, I mean, we wouldn't be alive. And the name wouldn't still be there. So I got to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys for giving us this opportunity to talk and be a part of this, and you carrying on the Dead Daisies torch. We appreciate you very much.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Thank you, Bo. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.